Hi, everybody, and welcome back to your art class. It's super great to be having art again. I hope you had a really good break. I know I did, and I hope you're ready to make some art because we got some fun stuff to do. So, before our break, if you remember, we were working on a project where you were designing a future city, right? You were making a future city. So, we're going to continue working on that project. And we've done two parts. The first part, we made a map of the city. The second part, you drew a skyline of your city. Okay, so this is what I made last time here. This is my city skyline. And my city was called Pinwheel City, and it has lots of windmills, and it's powered by windmills. And I drew lots of buildings and things. Today's the final part of this project, and I will show you what we're going to do with that. This is kind of a fun part. This is like we get to get really detailed with it now. So let me put this up here. All right. I'll just leave myself up here so you can see me. Okay, so what we're doing is culture and other details. Okay, so culture is kind of like things that a group of people do in a very basic way. It can be the music that they listen to, it could be the things they do together, the art that they make. There's a lot of things that go into culture. So that could be one part of what we're doing today, is coming up with cultural things for your city. Here's your learning target, okay? Draw out at least 4 elements of your city's culture or other details. So if you don't feel like it fits into the idea of culture, that's okay. We're just drawing lots of little details about your city. So some examples would be like the clothes and the fashion. What kind of clothes do people wear in your city? Right? I used Black Panther here as an example because they have this kind of futuristic city called Wakanda, and they have really interesting clothes. The people who made that movie, there's a lot of artists who designed what the clothes would look like, and they thought, what do we want clothes to look like in this like super advanced society? And this is a cool example. I mean, it's sort of African, but sort of futuristic, and it's just this really interesting design with different things going on. So, that's one example. Food. What kind of food do they eat in your city? This is the future, so you're going to want to think about how your city works and what they want to eat. Maybe they're all vegetarians. I don't know. Maybe they grow their own food. Maybe they found delicious berries in space. Maybe they eat blue strawberries. I don't know. Come up with something fun for that. You could do cars, like the Jetsons is a good example here. That's an old cartoon. I don't know if any of you even know what that is, but the Jetsons, they have these cool little flying cars with these bubbles, or you can come up with some cool, like sporty looking cars or anything. It could be flying or on the ground or teleporting between dimensions. I don't know. It's the future. It could be anything, right? Families, you could draw like what a typical family looks like or what different families look like, what families might do together. Once again, this Jetsons thing is an example. They're all, she's talking on her phone and he's walking his dog, but his dog has his own little spaceship. What's funny about this is she has a little cell phone here, and that was in the Jetsons as this thing that was like, whoa, could you imagine in the future if you just had a phone that you could take with you? It wasn't even a real thing back then. Looked very futuristic. It's kind of funny. Anyway, and then also sports or activities. Things. What do people do in your city? In this future city that you've created. I use this from the movie Tron. Tron, they have like this video game virtual reality sports that they play, and here he's got this interesting disc thing that I don't even remember what they do with it, but yeah, it's like a sport. So, I'm going to. Here's what I'll do for now. I'm going to put myself up like this, because I want you to be able to see these examples here, at least for a little while, okay? But I still want you to see what I'm drawing. So draw at least 4 elements of your city's culture, or details about your city. So I'm going to aim my camera down here. You can go ahead and get your paper and stuff ready. There we go. This is kind of tricky. Thanks for your patience. There we go. Okie dokie. I've got my paper here, and I've got a pencil for this one, and some colored pencils and some crayons in case I need them. Let me get my lighting just right here. Okay, good enough. Good enough for me. That's too bright. Okay. I'm not going to be too picky here. All right, so there's so many different things I could do for my city. Clothes or food or cars, families, sports. Wherever you want to go with it is fine. I will kind of walk you through what I'm doing a little bit. And, you can do it along with me if you want, or you can just kind of wait till I'm done. However you would like to do it. If I'm too distracting for you, I don't know, you can mute the video. I don't care how you do it. We do it your way. Okay. So in my city, I know that the people are very environmentally conscious because it's run on wind power. So that could go into their cars that they drive. Maybe they don't drive. Yeah, my people don't drive cars. Well, I think my city had roads in it, so I'm going to assume they drive cars. Maybe they're electric cars. Oh, maybe, okay, so they'll have electric cars that they power on the wind station. So the windmills spin around and they generate power in these little stations. Electricity stations. And I can design what the electricity station looks like, where they get their power from. And it's kind of like a gas station where you can go in and you can get snacks. It's called the WOW station. WOW. It's kind of small there, but that's, it says WOW. And you come up here. It's just like a gas station. They have these little things that go across. But there's like a little thing that you plug your car into. You can charge your car. And now I'll design what the cars look like in my city. There will be a lot of different types of cars in my city, but this is like a typical passenger car. Oh, you know what? My cars are all going to go on rails, okay? So instead of having wheels, and I'm glad that I'm using a pencil because I can erase it and fix it as I'm thinking about it. Instead of having wheels, here's what I'm imagining. My cars attach onto a rail, okay? And they have magnets so that, you know how magnets repel each other? The cars can't run into each other when they're on the rail. When they get too close, the magnets just propel them apart. And it also uses less energy. So, and this is an electrically powered car going on a rail. And you can go wherever you want on those rails. And it can even drive for you. You don't need to drive, you don't need to steer because it's totally safe. So you can sit in there and you could read a book. So I'll draw somebody in the car reading a book. And some kids in the back, maybe, also reading books. They like to read in my city. It's pretty cool. We'll put some little racing stripes on it. I'll put the little attachment. This is where they put the electrical hose in right there to fill it up. And yeah, it's almost like a miniature train. A little personal miniature train car. So that's one of the little details of my city. And I've kind of tapped into the culture a little bit because you can see that the people like to read. You can see that they like to conserve their energy. They don't like to be wasteful of energy. So those are all sort of parts of their culture that are coming out through these details. I like to design some fashion. So I'll draw two people here. I'm just going to draw the body shapes first. Just lightly sketching out shapes like this to start with. And then it's almost like a doll, that I can add things onto. This is just the sketchy part. Okay, so let's come up with some fun clothes. They like to wear goggles. I don't know why. They wear goggles on their foreheads. Just because it's a cool fashion statement. And they have long braids in their beards. I don't have any good reasons for this. It's just what they like to do. It's just their fashion. Lots of braids. They have braids in their hair and their beards. Lots of braids and some dreadlocks. That's cool. Look at that guy. He's a neat looking dude. And then their shirt. They wear like cloaks, almost like wizards wear. Long cloak. That's pretty neat. And they wear pajama pants underneath because they like to be comfortable. And if you're wearing a cloak, people can hardly see it anyway. Some of them even like to walk around barefoot because their city is so clean they don't even need shoes anymore. That's some cool fashion going on. Okay, let's come up with another one. Maybe different type of fashion. Like this is casual, and then maybe this is what they might wear to work, right? Like they have special official work hats that look like this, and it has their business on it. I'm just gonna pretend this is like a logo for a business on the hat. And of course, she's still got lots of braids, because they just love their braids. And she's got a badge. Still got a cloak. They still like to wear cloaks even when they're at work. I don't know what she does. Maybe she's like a... Instead of police officers, they have please officers. The police officers just go and politely ask you to stop. Because they don't have a lot of crime in my city. So they have a please force instead of a police force. Just go, please stop, or please do this, and then they help people. That's the please force. And on her belt, she's got a holster with candy in it to give to the kids. There you go. Very nice. So I've got like 3 elements here. It's, you know, you don't have to do exactly 4, just do as many as you can, really. Maybe food. I haven't talked about the food that they eat. Well, on a regular night where there's not a lot going on and they don't feel like cooking, you know what they make? Cup of noodles. That's right. Make a cup of noodles, but they got all kinds of cool flavors. This one is a pizza flavor. Pizza noodles, and it's got pepperonis in it. And it comes with little breadsticks. A little plastic, maybe not plastic, maybe a biodegradable container with 2 breadsticks in it. This is all biodegradable, meaning biodegradable means when you throw it away, it's not going to sit in a landfill forever and ever. Or it's not going to go in the ocean forever and ever. It's actually going to break down over time and turn into basically dirt. So that's why they use biodegradable packaging. And I'll throw in a couple different flavors of the noodles that they have here. The pizza one and something that'll just be super crazy. Candy flavored noodles. Candy noodles. It's dessert noodles. You can imagine how that's gonna be. I don't have to come up with it for you. And then that has a little sauce packet with candy sauce. Could be chocolate, could be strawberry. Candy noodles. Think about it. They love to eat their noodles. But a nice fancy meal for them. They figured out how to grow their own meat in a lab. I know that sounds crazy, but guess what? They get to enjoy nice, juicy meat without having to kill animals, which they enjoy in my city. And it actually is pretty good. It's actually better than the meat from the animals because they've spent years and years perfecting it. So a nice steak dinner with a potato with some butter. It's a lab-grown steak dinner. How about that, huh? So we've seen what the people eat in my city. We've seen kind of what they wear, the cars that they drive, right? Maybe we could come up with a sport for them to play. That would be fun. I'm going to, at this point, I'm going to turn my mic off for a little while and draw so that you can kind of focus, and I'll check back in with you in, say, 10 minutes, all right? So you go ahead and draw, and I'll check back in 10 minutes. All right, so I'm gonna color this a little bit just for fun, but I wanted to go over a little bit of what I did. If you want to just kind of get some ideas or just curious. So, um, sure, my camera does this funny thing sometimes where it gets blurry like that, but I'm not sure what I could do about it. So, um, just kind of show you what I came up with. Here's one of the cars. I came up with two different car companies. Cargo, come on, camera. Cargo, and then I came up with a Railster. So we have the Cargo Mini and the Cargo Family, which is like a family van. And the Railster Sport is like a sports car. The Railster Elite is like the super expensive luxury car. I came up with this sport is something new I came up with. This is like basketball, except they have fans in the floor with a grate over it, so you're not going to fall through. But you can jump really, really high, right? So, and the hoops are super high, and the court is super long, and that uses the wind energy. Because the city is powered by wind energy, so it uses some of that energy that they've figured out how to harness to power these fans and blow the wind up for the basketball players. I even came up with two different basketball teams, Gale Force and the Blizzards. And they're both kind of wind themed teams, since that's sort of a theme of my city. So yeah, this is pretty fun. I'm really excited to see what you come up with. I bet you're going to come up with some awesome stuff. So you can feel free to email that to me if you want. You don't have to email it because I'm not collecting things right now. But you can email it to me if you want to. I would love to see it. So feel free to do that. We are going to have our art hangouts. Those have been really fun, and we've been getting more and more students. And in the art hangout, you're basically it's a Google meeting that you can join, and you come on in, and we make art together in the meeting, and we can share our art. You don't have to have your camera or your microphone on if you don't want. It's just a hangout where we can make art together and share stuff together, and we'll watch a couple cool videos and stuff like that. So it's really fun. So feel free to join that. It's not something you have to do. It's just an extra thing. And I'm going to post all the links to that in the description to this video. Basically, there's a Google Classroom code in the description. You put that into Google Classroom, and then you'll join our little class. And from there, I will post the information about the art hangouts. I know that's a little confusing, but it's the best way I can come up with to do it for everybody. So join the Google Classroom. Once you're in there, you'll see, when the art hangout is and get the links for the art hangout. Okay? So, yeah, I'm just going to color for a few minutes. We got like 4 minutes left. So I'm going to color a little bit. And then we'll be done for today. So I hope you're doing all right out there. And yeah, take care. Have fun with this one. Bye-bye. All right, everybody, that's all the time I've got for this one. So hope you had fun. Bye bye.